Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry for the delay. We're having a couple of technical difficulties. My name's Emma, and I'm going to be presenting to you today with my colleague Shoaib. And hopefully we're going to be giving you a good overview of apprenticeships right through from A to Z. So hopefully in the session, we'll cover everything you need to know, from what is an apprenticeship through to the different sectors and courses we cover and the different levels of apprenticeship, the benefits of apprenticeships. I know there's probably a lot of you watching that are not sure of what your kind of next steps will be. So we'll talk you through the benefits of doing an apprenticeship, what the next steps are for those of you that are keen to do an apprenticeship. Then following on from the presentation, we're actually going to be hosting a live web chat, which you can access through our website. So any questions that you've got, please do go over to our website and join the web chat, and we'll happily answer any questions. So first kind of important point is to answer who can be an apprentice. So anyone can be an apprentice as long as you're over 16, you've completed your full-time education and you live in England. So people wrongly assume that apprenticeships are only for school leavers. And while that is, you know, I guess that is the most common age group that we get, but it is not the only age group. So there's no upper age limit to be an apprentice. If you're over 19, you might be eligible for additional funding, but any age can be an apprenticeship, whether you're totally new to the workplace and learning a totally new skill set, whether you're currently employed and you're looking to upskill. As long as you're over 16, any age can undertake an apprenticeship. So what is an apprenticeship? So in essence, an apprenticeship is a real job. So you will be employed by a company, by a business to undertake a real job. They'll have a vacancy in their team that they want to fill with an apprentice. So you will be working in that position whilst you're studying for a formal qualification. So usually what happens is you work 4 days a week and then you come into college 1 day a week. Some courses like business admin, IT, childcare, you don't come into college 1 day a week. It's all work-based learning, but in essence, it's a real job. You get a contract of employment, you get a salary, you know, you get a monthly paid salary, you get holiday pay, you know, you get all the benefits that any other employee will get. But you also have the benefit of someone is paying for you to earn a nationally recognised qualification. So you come into college 1 day a week, you get paid to come into college, and at the end of it, you have all the skills that you need to kind of undertake your chosen career. The other point of doing an apprenticeship, the other important point to know is that as well as learning the sector specific skills, you're also developing and learning the soft skills, so the transferable skills, communication, you know, IT skills, you know, talking to different stakeholders at work, all of the things that you can put on a CV, all the employability skills that you know you wouldn't be learning if you were at university, for example, things that are really important to future employers. They're really valued. The length of an apprenticeship varies and it depends on what program you do and what level you do. So we have programs that last for 1 year through to programs that are 4 years. So it depends on what your kind of chosen course is, that will determine how long the course will be. As an apprentice, you don't have to pay for your course. It is funded by the government and your employer. So, you know, it's no cost to you. Someone is paying you to get that qualification. So if you do decide to start an apprenticeship, it's important to understand kind of what your journey will kind of look like. So you'll start off by having an initial assessment. So that will include an interview here at the college with the course assessor, the course teacher, and they'll talk to you about, you know, what you're doing at work, what your career aspirations are, what you want to, you know, what motivates you, you know, any experience you've got. If you've got, you know, GCSE English and Maths, for example, they'll look into all of that. Once you've been offered a place on the apprenticeship course, you start your training period. So that's where you'll be learning here at the college, and you'll be learning whilst you're at work a set of knowledge, skills and behaviours. So each course has a determined set of skills that you will be expected to learn, and you'll have a skills coach and an assessor who will support you here at college and at work to make sure you are learning to the right level that's required. If you don't have your GCSE English and Maths, you will also attend functional skills here at the college. And you'll also have to undertake off-the-job training. So off-the-job training is any new learning that you're doing at work. So whether that's learning a new IT database, or whether it's learning how to use a new set of power tools, or working on a new engine in a car. Anything that's new learning, you have to do a certain number of off-the-job learning throughout your course. Once you've finished all your practical training, you then enter Gateway. So Gateway is really when you've completed all your training, all your practical training, all your classroom training, you've completed your portfolio if that's what your course requires, you've completed functional skills, and we then need to book you into your endpoint assessment. So the endpoint assessment is, in essence, it's a big assessment to make sure that you've reached all the criteria that you need to pass or complete your apprenticeship. There's different elements to the endpoint assessment. So included in it would be a knowledge test. So you'd have an online multiple choice test where it would ask you questions around what you've learned during your course. You would have potentially have a practical test. So for example, if you were a carpentry apprentice, you would have a practical test here at the college. It would be a whole day where you would be asked to replicate potentially, you know, installing a staircase, or you know, a certain skill that you've learned whilst you've been an apprentice. And then you'll have a professional discussion where someone external from the college will come in and ask you questions about what you've learned whilst you're sort of during your apprenticeship. So that makes up the endpoint assessment, and then from there hopefully you complete your apprenticeship and you get your qualification. So we've got a couple of case studies. These are apprentices that have worked with us on different courses, and it's quite interesting to have a listen about what they felt was interesting and the benefits of doing an apprenticeship here. I can't hear that, so I'm not sure if someone could put in the chat whether they can hear. Okay, I think I'm really sorry, guys. I think we'll have to. We're having a bit of technical issues today, unfortunately. So I'm sorry about that. But what we will do is this is being recorded, and we will forward over a presentation to everybody. So hopefully you'll be able to listen to Tyrese's experience. We'll try Mel's experience just in case we can get the volume working on that. No, I don't think that's working either. Yeah, we'll forward it to everybody and you can listen to the video. But the things that come through from both Mel and Tyrese is that they wanted to, rather than going into full-time education, they both wanted to learn the skills on the job. So they wanted to earn a salary whilst they were getting that qualification, you know, learning from people that have got job specific skills. Rather than sitting in a classroom, they wanted to learn more hands-on. and obviously the money side of it as well was really important, because you are getting paid a salary, and those salaries are very competitive. So both Tyrese and Mel really, that's what comes through from their experience. And they both work with quite big companies, so they were working across a number of different teams, so learning how different people work. But hopefully we'll get those over to you, and you can listen to those. So a couple of case studies for you. Sophie is one of our electrical installation students. She's actually completed her course now. Her reasons for undertaking an apprenticeship were similar, really. She wanted to complete her qualification, but she didn't really have time to attend. She has a young family, so learning while she was working was kind of the ideal situation for her. She came to college 1 day a week, and she worked 4 days a week. So the stuff she was learning at work was kind of complemented with the practical stuff she was doing here at college. She's qualified now, and she's working full time, and she's progressing really well with the company that she's with. And another case study, which is for motor vehicles. So we have a fully equipped motor vehicle workshop here at the college. So you can work on the engines in the cars, there's the diagnostic systems you can work on. We've got the electric workshop here as well, which will be part of the apprenticeship. So yeah, brilliant opportunity to learn whilst working in a workshop, and the facilities are really impressive. Again, working 4 days a week and coming in 1 day was really beneficial. And I think, you know, the electric and hybrid technology is that's the way things are moving. So it's great that we've got that included in our apprenticeships here. So I'll pass you over to my colleague Shoaib, who will run through the programmes that we offer.
Hello, so my name is Shoaib. Obviously, I work with Emma too. And as Emma mentioned, I'm just going to take over from here and just go through a few more things with you. So as you can see, these are the programs we currently offer. You know, a lot of level 2 and 3 and 1 or 2 level 4s as well. Generally, you know, the college is very well known for its construction, hair and beauty. We've got motor vehicles, IT, all of those sorts of things. And you will find apprenticeships in all those sort of areas as well. So again, you know, carpentry and joinery, painting and decorating, property maintenance, hair professional. These are all our kind of, you know, some of our very popular ones. And then of course we've got business admin, early years, which is like related to childcare. You've got plumbing and domestic heating, motor vehicles level 3, IT. So as you can see, there is quite a wide range. If you go onto our website, which there'll be a link at the end, and you know, you can have a look at the full list of apprenticeships and full-time courses we offer. And if there is anything you're thinking, oh, you know, well, I'm not sure if you know, Langley College, Windsor Forest Colleges Group do offer that. You know, we are regularly open to offering more apprenticeships, and you know, we're always listening to the community. So feel free to kind of get in touch and see if there is something we might offer in the future. So the way it works, depending on the level, apprenticeships have kind of different levels. So at Langley, we mostly offer level 2s and 3. A level 2 is equivalent to GCSE, and a level 3 is equivalent to an A level. Now, what that means is, that doesn't mean if you've already got your GCSEs or you've already got A levels, that doesn't mean, oh no, I can't do a level 2 or I can't do a level 3 apprenticeship. Because by all means, actually what that means is you can certainly go on to the apprenticeship. On the other side of that, if you think, oh no, you know what, I haven't got my GCSEs or I haven't done A levels, can I still do an apprenticeship? Yes, you can. We will obviously ask about your grades, and if you haven't got the minimums of level 4 in maths and English, you can most likely still do the apprenticeship, but you would do your functional skills, maths and English alongside that. So obviously we would do all those checks when you apply for an apprenticeship, but don't ever feel hesitant. Don't think, oh no, I'm overqualified or I'm underqualified. You know, always either feel free to apply for the apprenticeship or to reach out to us, and we can guide you over the phone. You can come into our information sessions, our open events, and we will give you all the information you need on that front. So what are the benefits of apprenticeships? So again, I mean, one of the main ones is earn while you learn. So what that literally means is, essentially, as Emma mentioned, it is a full-time job. So you are literally working, you're going into the world of work, around 16 or 18, or even if you're older, if you want a career change, anything like that, you are working in a full-time job, but you're also gaining a qualification at the same time. So, if you're doing business admin, you'll get a certificate at the end of it. If you're going into plumbing or electrical, you'll be working for 4 years, but you'll also be coming into college 1 day a week, and by the end of it, you'll be fully qualified, hopefully, for that, plumbing or electrical qualification. Again, they are recognized as national qualifications. So even if you decide, actually, I want to go to university, or, I want a change of career or something like that, or I want to progress in my career, an apprenticeship will look very good on your CV. And a lot of employers, if not all employers, will 100% look at that and consider that as a qualification. You're learning the skills employers want. So again, if you're around 16 to 18, you're thinking, oh, look, I've not worked before, but I really want to work in IT, for example. A company might hire you, and they will sort of mold you to what suits their business. So you'll pick up all the sort of skills that they require. And it's very beneficial to you as a candidate, as an apprentice, because you're gaining all those skills, but they're also gaining someone who has all those skills by training you in that. You're benefiting from ongoing and personalized support. So obviously, at work, you'll have a manager, someone to report to, but you'll also have sort of support from the college. You'll have an assessor coming out every few weeks or so to assess you, ensure you're on the right track, basically. So, you're getting that support every step of the way. Again, as I mentioned before, you're gaining real work experience. So again, it looks amazing on your CV, even if at the end of it, you decide, look, I don't want to keep working in this company, or I want to change, it's still going to look excellent on your CV that you've worked at for, you've got a qualification, all of those sorts of things. Again, that links into improving your employability. So, even if you do an IT apprenticeship or a business admin apprenticeship or something, by the end of it, that actually you'll get the business admin, for example, qualification, the certificate, but it opens the door to so many more avenues. You could go work in an accountancy firm, a law firm, you could work in HR. There's a lot of opportunity with an apprenticeship, and past the apprenticeship as well, like beyond it. You're developing your skills, again, as I mentioned before, you're learning the skills employers want, but you also, again, for your own personal sort of development, you are learning skills that hopefully you won't kind of forget. They will kind of become ingrained in you, and that's something you can just tick off your list. You're always kind of going to have learned that thing. You'll be good at it for years to come, sort of thing. Discover your earning potential. So again, you're earning money at a young age, or even if you're a bit older, you're earning while you're getting your qualification. By the end of it, a lot of employers we work with will offer to keep on their apprentice because, they've really enjoyed having them, or they've, they just fit the team so well. So at the end, of your apprenticeship, they might review your sort of pay package. They might say, okay, look, we want to hire you as a full-time employee, and they'll extend your contract, change, make all those sort of changes that you'll be happy with as well. And then of course you've got progression opportunities as well. So again, as I mentioned before, if you've done something like, a hair apprenticeship, you've been working in a local salon or something, you can then tell yourself, okay, look, I've worked here, I've done this for a few years. Let me now apply for a big salon in London. All of those sorts of things, just for example. So again, yeah, as I mentioned, a lot of progression opportunities. So finding an apprenticeship, there's a number of ways to actually find an apprenticeship. So again, one of the main ones is, if you go onto Google, the first thing someone's going to do if they're interested in an apprenticeship is you're going to end up typing apprenticeships into Google. That should bring up the National Apprenticeship Service website. And on there, if you check that out, and it will, you can filter it by location, by the field. So if you're interested in hair, if you're interested in IT, business, plumbing, electrical, childcare, you can literally search for that. And, if you think, oh, hold on a minute, how am I going to, I found an apprenticeship, it's somewhere 30 miles away, how am I going to get there? You can actually filter that so it's only 5 or 10 miles away, which is a bit more manageable. So 100%, I would say that's a very good place to start, is go onto the apprenticeships.gov website and just browse through, have a look, and see what you can kind of find. The other thing is to do is, this is two-part, is one is to research any company. So that means even whether you find it through our website or through Apprenticeships or Indeed or whichever website, always research the company, look at the job role and the standard, and just make sure it fits in, with what you will be able to learn at college. So, if it's hair related, just, you can phone through to us or double check on our website that actually what is included in the job role is, in fact, what we offer as part of the course for our apprenticeship. But also, obviously, research the company in general is, look online. Again, just using hair as an example, if you think, what, I've got my heart set on working in a hair salon, I want to be a hair professional, have a look on Google, type in hair salons in Slough or Maidenhead or Bracknell, wherever you might live. And, it's always worth ringing them up and just, just asking, look, I'm looking to do an apprenticeship. Would you take me on as an apprentice? Worst comes to worst, they'll say, sorry, look, we're not looking for anyone at the moment. But, I've seen it happen a lot of times with students where they've called up and actually, the company really likes the sound of them and says, okay, look, come in for a face-to-face interview, or we'll have a telephone call, and they end up creating an apprenticeship opportunity from there. So again, that doesn't just apply to hair, that applies to, again, construction, carpentry, plumbing, electrical, business, IT, anything you might be interested in that we offer. Just have a look on Google, contact them. Even if you think, look, I'm not too sure how to go about this, feel free to get in contact with us. We'll have all our details on one of the last pages, one of the last slides, sorry. So again, you can call one of us up, me or Emma, and we can call them on your behalf, or we'll ask you to send your CV to us. And then, we will get in touch with the employer and just say, look, this person is interested in doing an apprenticeship. Would you kind of consider them? Another way is to, if you have any contacts. So again, everyone's parents, aunties, uncles, all that sort of thing, you're going to have someone who might know someone. Again, just using hair as an example is, someone's auntie or even uncle, or anyone might have a friend or a colleague who works in a salon or owns a salon or something, and it's always going to be a good opportunity. So, or even you might have some friends who, their aunties, uncles, parents own a salon, or they run a small business or something like that. So it's always good. It's always worth reaching out. If you are still in school as well, year 10 or going into year 11, it's definitely worth speaking to your careers advisor, who will also have links and will know a lot about apprenticeships too, and can kind of guide you in the right direction. Lastly is the candidate pool. So that's on our website. If you go under the apprenticeship section and you go to vacancies, you will see a list of all the employers we are currently working with. At the moment, a lot of the spaces have been filled up because it's a very popular time to apply for an apprenticeship. So, a lot of the employers we're working with, we've sent them applicants, or people have applied, they've been very happy, and they've said, what, this is our apprentice, we have found them. So it's always good to, in good timing, have a look on our website under the vacancies section and see what applies to you. We work with all sorts of employers. And yeah, you can make an application and that will be sent through to them. So when applying for an apprenticeship, be mindful of the closing date. make sure you make a relevant and tailored application. So again, with the closing date, obviously you might think, okay, I've got 2-3 weeks, that's fine. I'll apply closer to the end date. I've still got a bit of time. Actually, as I just mentioned, right now, for example, is a very busy period. So, we're sending applicants, or, applicants are being sent through to the employer, and, they might interview 1 or 2 people, even though the vacancy is open for another 2 weeks. They might be like, right, this person suits our needs. This person's very good. Let's take them on. So you don't want to miss that chance. You want to kind of just apply as soon as possible. Obviously, double check over your application, but, the sooner the better usually. Make sure you make a relevant and tailored application. So again, if it is business admin, try and obviously relate it to business as much as you can. If you are a school leaver and you think, oh, but I haven't worked before, what can I put? You'll always be able to relate back to school somehow. So, you can say you might have done reception duty at school 1 week, or, maybe part of your work experience, or just general, during your IT course, you'll have picked up things if you're applying for an IT apprenticeship. There's always a way to tailor it and make it relevant to what you're applying for. Why are you right for the role? So again, firstly, make sure that it is something you are 100% interested in. Don't just do it because you think, oh, my friends are doing it. My friends love IT, or a lot of my friends are going into plumbing or electrical. So let me just do the same thing. Make sure you are content with what you're applying for. Secondly, you really think about it, really consider why you're applying for that specific role. And, it links back to what I said before, research the company, do a Google search, even ring them if you need to. And just make sure that, what you can offer them is going to be suitable for them as well. Lastly, always check the application, because again, for example, if you're applying for a business admin apprenticeship, but you've ended up just, you might be tired one day and you've made a few spelling mistakes. For business admin, they might look at that and think, okay, look, this person probably isn't right for the role. Whereas you probably know how to, spell those words. It's always good to just check over it again, a day later, or get your parents, friends, or, even send it through to us and ask us to have a look over it. But it's always good to just check the application, make sure all your details are correct, your phone number, your contact details, so that when they do try and contact you, they can get through to you easily. And yeah, it's always good to just give it a once over afterwards. So what are the interviews like? You probably know from school, I'm sure you've been primed, especially if a lot of you have just finished year 11, or you're in year 10, year 11. You will, you might have a telephone interview first. That might be something a bit more, it will be quite relaxed. Just a few general questions here and then they might invite you in for a formal interview. Of course, first impressions count, so make sure you're dressed appropriately, dressed smartly, suiting the needs of what is expected of the business. Make sure, as I've mentioned a few times, that you've sort of done your research. So it's always good to make a few points about the company, so that you're not just going in blind. You're able to impress them by showing them what you know about the company already. It only needs to be 2 or 3 kind of basic points about the company, but that usually will impress them. What are your strengths? So it might help to actually make a list beforehand on what your strengths are, and again, try and bring them up throughout the interview. So if you're very good with communication skills, if you're a very confident speaker, you're good at talking, make that known to them. Try and give 1 or 2 examples. For example, if you've given a presentation at school, or you've worked as part of a team, that sort of thing. Everyone has strengths, so it's always good to hone in on them and really think about what your strengths are. Potential as well, obviously, that goes 2 ways. Just make sure that you're giving them the potential to take on an apprentice, and allowing them to find someone who is really right for the business, who's going to stick with the apprenticeship the whole way through. So again, that just links back to making sure you're content with the role, the job, with what the company is advertising for the apprenticeship, But don't also be afraid to ask them about what the potential is after the apprenticeship. So, if you, again, if you're working in IT and, it's a 2-year apprenticeship, feel free to ask them, like, would you be willing to keep the apprentice on after the apprenticeship finishes? Literally 9 times out of 10, the employer will be happy to, they're looking for an apprentice who they want to keep on after that. But it's always good to just ask. Once you've sort of had that interview with the employer, you will then have an interview, once they will contact us and say, look, we've chosen this person as our apprentice. We'll do the checks with them, and then you will have an interview with one of our assessors. Now, again, that might be a telephone interview. During COVID, I know it was telephone based, but 1 or 2 assessors have now come face to face, but you will know that when you sort of apply. Again, it's nothing super intense. It's for your benefit, just to make sure, again, that, you're the right fit for the apprenticeship, that you're happy with it. It's to check if you have any prior learning. So, if you might get a reduction in the course duration because you've already, for example, done a year, or you've done a BTEC, or that sort of thing, the assessor will decide that. It will also, check if you require any additional support, how the college can help, what we can do. We'll sort of ask you about your maths and English, all of those sorts of things. And then, like as I mentioned, we'll ask about your previous learning and employment, what your motivations are, what you're planning for the future. Again, it's all just to make sure you are 100% fit for the role, which, you will know yourself that if you've applied for it, most likely you are going to be. So what support do you have from us? So again, you've got the candidate pool. So again, have a look on our website. So it's under apprenticeships and then under vacancies. And you can see all the employers we're currently working with. And that is constantly, continuously being updated. We're always working with employers. So, you might, if you're, just for example, if you're looking for a carpentry apprenticeship, but you look on our website and there isn't anything, don't think, oh no, I'm guessing Langley aren't offering it, or, there's just not any available at the moment. You might go onto it the very next day and there might be 3 or 4 carpentry apprenticeships available. So it's always good to, maybe favorite that tab and just go through it regularly if you are looking for an apprenticeship. As I mentioned, we'll help you with your online application if you require. So if if you've looked over it, but something's not sitting right with you, send it over to us and we will sort of, we will help that with you. We'll go over it with you over the phone, or, anything that needs to be done. We will check if you need any terms of interview support. So again, what we can do to help you in your apprenticeship, or, during interview, that sort of thing. And then lastly, of course, any information you need about courses. So if you just today decided, okay, actually, you know what, I've learned a bit more about apprenticeships, I do want to do one, but I don't know too much about the courses. Again, always come into our open evenings, go onto our website, a lot of information will be there, or just, phone through onto our, the numbers will be available at the end. They're all on our website. You can phone us, you can email us, you can contact us via the live chat, which we're going to do today after the presentation. So there's a range of opportunities to kind of find out about courses. So again, you've got our telephone number and you've got our email address. So if you can either make a note of that, or all of this is on our website. All the contact details are there. So just have a look on our website. Anytime you need to call myself, Emma, or anyone in the apprenticeships team or the business services team, the details are available for you.
So that's the end of the presentation. I hope that it's been helpful and useful and informative for you. I'm sorry about the technical issues at the beginning. Please do jump onto the web chat and we'll happily answer any questions. If you want to speak to us in more detail about anything we've covered today, then jump on the web chat and we can arrange time for a call, or like Shoaib said, I'll give us a call on the number that was on the slide before, and we'll happily talk through anything at all, whether it's the vacancies we've got, whether it's the length of the course, any of the employers we're working with. We're just at the end of the phone and we're happy to have a chat with you. So thank you so much again, and hopefully we'll hear from some of you on the web chat.